Welcome back, folks. Of all the people who have ideas for movies or television series, I'm sure you probably got some friend and got their own idea. There's a very small portion of them who are actually able to get it done. What does it take to get the green light to produce quality television series and films in Hollywood? We have some of the folks who have been able to crack the code here with us today. We have actor, comedian, director, writer, janitor. He does it all. Robert Townsend. Also, the producer behind Think Like a Man, and he is the HBCU marketing king, my alpha brother, Will Packer. Also, the only white guy in the studio, television writer and producer of the new TV One series, Bells, Ed Weinberger. We always got to go to Ed, because you can smile, Ed. I mean, seriously.
No, I don't smile.
Okay, Ed was going to be on the panel.
That's my trademark. Sorry.
And Devon Franklin, Senior Vice President for Sony Pictures and author of Produced by Faith. All right, folks, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
All right, first off, I got to ask, how many times do you get hit by people who go, hey, man, I got a killer idea for a movie or a show? Do the eyes in your head just roll back and you're like, oh my God, do I really want to hear this?
You know what? All the time, I'm sure we all do. I don't roll the eyes because I'm so blessed to be in this position.
Right.
I remember being that guy that was pushing and hustling and pitching my stuff. It's tough when, like, you know, I get hit up by the family. Like, I'll get hit up 10 times before I leave the house.
And you're going, okay, seriously, I just came here to eat?
Like, really, auntie? Like, seriously? So, you know, but I get it because, you know, as you introduced us, there are not a lot of folks that are making, you know, content that's, you know, aimed at or about African Americans. So there's just not a lot of us to go to. So, yeah, we're getting hit up a lot.
Everybody has a reality show.
Oh, my goodness.
And so you're getting more and more pitches. But so you want to be kind. But at the same time, I think I always say, you know, the idea is really a good idea. It's who's going to do it? Who's going to execute it? And that becomes the key, because the idea is usually not the key to selling a show, at least in my mind. The key is how well you can execute that idea.
Now, your point about who's going to do it, a lot of people really don't understand. I mean, you did the Cosby Show. And a lot of folks forget other networks passed on the Cosby Show before NBC said yes.
I'm not familiar with that one. It was at NBC.
I mean, Bill Cosby talked about it. He said that, again, the idea went to other networks, and they said, we don't know. And then NBC said yes. And so the point there is that you may have a great idea that somebody may not get it, but another place may say, we actually like it.
That's an example of how hard it is, because you have one of the funniest men who ever lived, and he can't get on a network. You got problems, not with him, but with the networks. And
you know what? And also, to your point, Roland, almost every show or movie that's out there has been passed on, has been told no. So that's something that people who are trying to create content, trying to get in the industry, take that to heart. I mean, people are going to say no. I mean, like, the first kind of big movie that I had was Stomp the Yard. Everybody said no. Right. Everybody passed on Stomp the Yard.
Like black people stepping at a college?
No, we ain't doing that. More black people at that college? What is this? And we went back. We finally got that made at Sony. We went back twice there after everybody told us no, and then got it done. So that story about the Cosby Show, and I know we all have stories of projects that you really have to just will them. You're going to get told no.
I had a script. I did a spec script. I turned it in, and my agent rejected it. And my agent...
Still your agent?
Wait, my agent... No, he isn't. My agent rejected it. He said, but it only has 4 people. It's only 4 people on the show. And I said, well, so did the Honeymooners. So did Lucy and the Lucy Show. So did Seinfeld. They all had 4 people. What are you talking about? It only has 4 people. So nobody really knows anything. And the whole key to this is you've got to keep at it.
Devon, is your fear a project comes in front of you and then you go, I'll go ahead and pass. And man, it hits later like crap. So you're going, oh, man, what was I thinking?
No, you know what? A lot of times, I mean, at least in the studio world, you don't get punished or penalized for the movies you don't make. And you have to pick the movie that works for what you want and what your marketing need can market and what your studio needs. So I don't really trip off of that. I look at it as, does it speak to me as an idea I think will connect to an audience, and do I know how to do it? There are a lot of commercial ideas that may come, but it's just not something that I know how to do. So I'll pass it off to another executive or say, hey, yes, it's not for us because it doesn't fit with our mandate. So I don't worry about that. I really look at, does it work for us? Is this what we need? And if it is, go ahead and do it.
Robert, for you, you made it clear that you're not going to be just locked into just the big screen. I mean, you've looked at television, digital stuff. Your deal is it's about the content, the idea, and getting out to the masses.
You know, here's the thing. Content will always be king. You know, when we have all these new devices and everything, it's about the original idea. So the thing to me...
Here we go.
Yeah, but it's like, what do you want to see on your iPad? What do you want to see on your iPhone? So for me, I've been in this game a long time. I still love it, and we still need great content. So I think there will always be a slot available somewhere for that idea, if that idea is genuinely well written, well produced. Because it's like what Ed was saying, who's going to do it? And for me, as a creator, I love creating, and so I know there's always going to be a slot for something that I'm doing.
What about also understanding that you can make the product, but it's also how do you get it out to folks there in the wider public? I mean, Will, a lot of folks were stunned with Think Like a Man. What they didn't understand was you laid the groundwork before the movie came out to get the audience hyped, expecting it, because traditional Hollywood sat there and said, that's really not going to work.
Yeah, I mean, you know, for me, it's a two-part attack to marketing. You have the aerial game and the ground game. The studios know how to do the aerial game. That's like the big radio, outdoor, television commercials.
You've been talking to the Obama campaign. That's what you're talking about.
It works. I don't care what it is. If you're talking about a campaign, a political campaign, or you're talking about selling content, if you can go out and touch people and make people feel like this is something authentic and organic, and I want to care about it and I want to get invested in it, and that's what, you know, I got to give credit to my cast, you know, led by Kevin Hart, who is just a social media king, and the whole entire cast working with me. And I said, you know what, the studio's going to do what they're going to do. We're going to go out, we're going to hustle and push this film as if we have no marketing coming from the studio. We're going to make people sick and tired of hearing about this on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and whatever other methods that we could find. But at the end of the day, that worked. And so we had a strong ground game with that film. And yeah, it surprised Hollywood. They didn't think it was going to do what it did.
And of course, every studio head blew your phone up, said, I need to meet this guy, Will Packer. What the heck was he doing? Okay, real quick, Robert, what you got coming up?
My new film is called Playing for Love. I just finished shooting in Miami, and I'm really excited. I'm in the editing room now, and In the Hive just is released in Chicago and coming out on BET, as a matter of fact, this week.
Will?
Shout out to Robert for paving the way for people like me, first of all. I got 3 movies rolling. I got a movie called No. We're working on it. We're working on it. Well, I told you, if you send me a custom ascot, like I've been asking, you see my neck is a little dry right now.
I'm going to send Will an ascot.
He sends me the ascot.
I'm going to be in one of his movies.
We're going to put him in the movie. There it is. He may not be in focus, but he's going to be in the movie. Here's the thing.
Okay.
So I got Thriller, No Good Deed with Taraji Henson and Idris Elba, About Last Night, which is a remake of an 80s classic, Kevin Hart, Michael Ealy, Joy Bryant, Regina Hall, and an action comedy with Kevin Hart and Ice Cube called Ride Along, all dropping next year.
Okay, he's busy. Wow.
Boy, I just have a show coming on. one TV show coming on TV One at 10 p.m. on Friday, East Coast.
It's Bells.
Called Bells.
That's right.
I hope everybody will get a chance to give it a chance.
And I know I can at least get on that show. It's on the same network I'm on. All right, Devon, you got a book.
I got a book, my book, Produced by Faith, which is in stores now. You can download it on your Kindle, your iPad, anywhere. It's everywhere. And also Will Smith's movie called After Earth, which will be out June 7th.
Okay, who's Will?
Will Smith and Jaden Smith.
I'm just messing with you. If you don't say the last name, then you know.
It's like that.
I'm just messing with you. Because you were on the show a couple years ago with Will said, hey, man, he said, look, if you Will or Dens, everybody knew exactly who we were talking about.
That's right.
All right, and again, the movie is?
It's called After Earth. It comes out June 7th in theaters everywhere.
All right, gents, I appreciate it. Robert, Will, Ed, Devon, thanks a bunch. Look forward to having you back on the show.
Thanks for having us, bro.